You would think that Marvel Studios would look at this past weekend and think, well, we need to take a look at how we do things and maybe consider fixing the way we go about business. But an insider has come out and said the exact opposite. We'll go over that in a second, but this is also a little bit of an update to the video I put out on Saturday, marveling at the idea that Marvel is in trouble because they're literally getting beaten by a movie about a bear that finds a pile of yayo in the woods and consumes it and goes on a rampage. Now, it didn't beat the movie this weekend, but it came pretty damn close. Too close for comfort, in my opinion. If I was a Marvel executive, I would be sweating. But they're going to get to save face a little bit when Guardians of the Galaxy comes out because Volume 3 of that series is going to do very well. I think that movie will hit $1 billion probably because Guardians of the Galaxy is a loved franchise. All of them have been good. Even that Christmas special was pretty good. So I think it's a safe bet that that movie's probably going to do well. However, when we get to the next movie, which is The Marvels, I expect a catastrophic drop. Probably it'll probably perform around the same as this movie for multiple reasons. Number one, you don't have it sandwiched between two Avengers movies this time. Of course, I'm talking about Captain Marvel 1. Had a huge benefit of being sandwiched between Infinity War and Endgame and being told that the masses were told that you needed to see this movie. It's very important to see that movie because you're going to get left out if you don't watch it. So, of course, naturally, people flock to the theaters to see it. I don't want to get too much into that movie's theories. A lot of theories out there about why it did so good. But we'll let that go. Overall, this movie so far has made $363.6 million. Domestically, it's made $167 million, and internationally, it's made $196 million. And when you look at how things have gone this weekend for Antman and the Wasp, I don't think you're going to see a huge number for this movie next weekend. This movie could die at $500 to $600 million, which is embarrassing. That'll be, I think, probably the lowest earner there is. If you were to adjust them all for inflation, and a lot of people don't talk about that, if you were to adjust all of the movies for inflation, this movie's going to look really bad. Really bad. And if you were to take into account that you're paying more for tickets now, too. A lot of people forget about that, but you're paying a lot more per ticket than you did when the first two came out. So here's what really got me to want to talk about this. Interesting update over in this Deadline video. They actually have a comment from an insider, which I thought was interesting. An insider for this movie says he's not bothered. Here it is right here. One insider close to the film isn't worried, telling us Marvel takes something away from movie, I think every movie, including Black Panther, including Avengers. I can say we're incredibly proud of the film. Jonathan Majors does a fantastic job as King. It's the movie we wanted to make. Box office is what it is, but it's not going to stop people from going back to the theaters. So it doesn't matter if it's doing poorly. Marvel's still Marvel, and they're going to go back for the next one. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Because if you look at the trend that's been going on since Phase 4, I say you're in a lot of trouble. In fact, some would say deep shit, because less people are going to the theaters now for these movies every film. I think you'll have some spikes. Speaking of spikes, Midnight's Edge has a great graph. I don't have it with me. Or I don't have it, but there's a great graph where if you take Spider-Man out, if you were to just take out No Way Home, right? Eliminate that movie from the graph of box office takes, there'd be no spike. Like, it's just a downward slope with a tiny little spike for Black Panther. And it's not even that great. Like, it's just a tiny little spike. Marvel's in trouble. I wonder if it could get so bad that Sony's like, yeah, we don't really see a benefit to letting you use Spider-Man anymore and just keep him at Sony. Because No Way Home is the only movie that's pulled in audiences like Endgame did. All the other ones, no one's really cared about. There's been some people that go see them, but they're still on a downward trajectory. So they should be concerned. They probably really are. This is probably to save face, saying, well, we're Marvel. We don't care. But this is embarrassing, and it's funny to see all the outlets completely ignore it. Like, there's not much coverage of this. You'll see a couple articles, in the headlines, like Hollywood Reporters here says, we were mauled by Cocaine Bear, or it was mauled by Cocaine Bear, but that's embarrassing. Imagine if Cocaine Bear had beat it. How embarrassing would that have been for it to have been dethroned? And domestically, it almost happened. It wouldn't have happened internationally, and because of the international tank, I think they would have been fine, like total-wise. But imagine if domestically Cocaine Bear had beat Ant-Man 3, and it was closer than you thought it was. Because on Friday, it actually had made more money. What saved it, in a lot of ways, was Thursday. On Thursday, only made like $2 million, but they were neck and neck on Friday and I think Saturday. So they should be concerned. They want to sit there and say, oh, we take some, we're proud of the movie. You should watch it. Because look at this. Domestically, what's their domestic? Yeah. Their 3-day for Ant-Man was 32.2 million. Cocaine Bear was 23.9 or 09. That's embarrassing. That's pretty damn close. I would imagine, I don't know, I think, does Creed 3 come out next weekend? I wonder what comes out next weekend, because you could see this get dethroned from number 1. So they could try to spin this, but this is embarrassing for Marvel. They look bad. Real bad. Anyway, they've delayed some stuff. Let's see what happens. I really wonder what's going on in that studio office. How do they feel about this? How do they truly feel? I'm sure some insiders will come out and leak shit over time. But you would have to imagine there's some panic at Marvel. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.